Hello, welcome to everyone in this video. This is our lecture number 41. Already 40 lectures are covered to solve the problem asked in the DJ Griffith books and also for the problem asked in the book that is Electricity Magnetism by Vasudev Ghosh, right? So in this book this is the 18 lectures and the others lectures actually consist of this solution of this book, right? So if you want to go to the description box you will be get this link there. So in this lecture we want to discuss actually the question number or problem number 4.29 to 4.40, that is the chapter 4 which consists actually dielectrics material. So question number 4.29 says the in the configuration problem 4.5 calculate the force on that is P2 dipole on P1. So in this problem you can see was the previous lecture, that is there is a two dipole like that, one is here and another is here. So you need to find out the force on this dipole P2 due to P1. So you know due to P1 there is a electric field opposite to this dipole. If the dipole along that and then the perpendicular distance, the electric field will be in the opposite direction. So this electric field will be like that. This is the expression of this electric field. Now you if you know the electric field, then you can find out the force on this dipole due to electric field. The force on this dipole due to electric field will be written here. You can see this P2 is along y direction, so this only y component, that is del y will be exist. That's why here written in del y of E1. Now this E1 can be written in terms of this distance is y, so this written in R as a y cube, right? And the electric field will be minus z cap. The electric field will be minus z cap. Now if you find out this integration, you will be get this expression, that is the force on this upward direction. So the force F2 will be on the that direction of the dipole. In the similar fashion, if you wants to find out the electric field here, due to to find out the force F1, put P2 at the origin, P2 taken as a origin or along the z direction. Then P1 is the minus r z direction, z cap. P1 is the minus r z cap. Sorry, at this is the position. This is the position. So the point where this direction will be minus y direction. So the F1 will be the same formula. Put this value here. You will be get this P1 is along the z direction. That's why sorry, P1 P1 as the y direction. That's why this is written as del y, right? So this is taken also a y direction minus, that's why this minus. So E2 need the function of x y z. So the electric field you can write here, this electric field will be this due to this dipole. You know this is the electric field, general electric field due to dipole is like that. Okay, so we can write this this electric field like here, where the r is this position vector. So r can be written in this of xyz, and p2 is like here. You can see here this p2 is taken is thing, and so p2 dot r, p2 dot r will be like that. So just doing this derivative you will be get this expression. You can see here these forces are equal and opposite, right? Next one is the find the total torque on P2 with respect to the center P1 compared to the torque and P1 and the opposite thing. So the torque expression will be like that, P dot P cross E plus R cross F. So first term calculate from this problem and second term using R equals to this. So P2 R E cap, P2 E1, just put this value of E1 and P2, this is E1 and P2 is taken here. Putting this value you will be get these things. And for R cross F2, R is like here and F2 is like this. So this is the total torque of this system. Next question says an electric dipole P pointing in the y direction placed midway between two. This is two conducting plate are situated like here with angle theta, and this is a dipole. You need to find out this force. So you can see here this positive and negative voltage, that is like parallel capacitor, so the electric lines of force will be like that. So if you take this dipole, this is positive charge and this is negative charge, because dipole direction minus negative to positive. So therefore positive charge electric electric field will force will be like that, because this force equals to QE for positive charge, and electric field is the tangential. If you draw these electric lines of force, this is the electric field direction. So using this electric field direction, we will get this force on this positive charge, and the force on this negative charge will be like that. Okay, so the resultant force will be like that. Next one, a dielectric cube. There is a cube like that, with dielectric cube, and this is a dielectric cube. It's a radius a center at the origin, and Fourier polarization, this is the polarization P equals to KR. Find out all boundary charges. So the volume charge density, minus divergence of P, and put this value of P in xy coordinate, you will be get minus 3q. So total charge will be volume charge density into volume, that is AQ. You will be get this total volume bound charge, right? And the surface charge density P dot n cap. So at the top surface, if you z as a z x y z, so at top surface this is the z cap, and z equals to a by 2. So you'll be get these things for all six surfaces. This actually this the same things you will be got, because this is z cap and this direction will be sigma a by 2, and this is minus sorry, j cap minus j cap, and the distance will be minus a by 2. That's why this become plus, right? So that's why for all six surface, this is the surface charge density. So total charge will be surface charge density into area into 6 due to 6 surface. Next question, a point charge q is embedded at the center of a sphere. This is a sphere and a point charge embedded at the center of dielectric constant. Find the electric field and the polarization of the bound charge like that. What is the total bound charge like that? So the Gauss theorem, this is the Gauss theorem in the dielectric material. So using this Gauss theorem, you can write down this d into 4 pi r square equal to q enclosed by q enclosed r cap. So this d vector equal to like that. So e vector equals to 1 by epsilon d. Put this value getting the electric field, and the polarization will be like that. So you will be get this electric field, and charge density, volume charge density minus grad p. So just derivative, and this is nothing but the delta function. The first video our consist of the delta function video. You can see over this is the three-dimensional delta function, right? Equation 1.99. And surface charge density will be like that, just derivative. So total surface charge density is like that, and the volume charge density, negative charge at the center. So volume charge density, if you take this derivative, you will be get this 1, right? So delta function gives you 1. So this is actually q volume, right? Right, that. Next question, at the interface between the two nonlinear dielectric medium. This is a two nonlinear dielectric medium. Is medium 1, this is medium 2, and this is the interface hour, right? So another field lines, so you need to prove these things. So from the previous lecture of the solution of the Vasudev Ghosh book, you know there is two boundary condition. Number one, that is the tangential component of electric field is continuous. Parallel means tangential component, and perpendicular means the perpendicular component. Tangential component and perpendicular component, normal component. This is the tangential component, and this is the normal component. This is the normal component. The tangential component is continuous and normal component is discontinued by surface charge density, but there is no surface charge density. That's why the normal component of displacement vector is continuous, right? So the component of this is along that direction, e1 cos theta and sorry sin theta. This is angle theta. So this angle is theta 1 on e1 cos theta. So tangential component is sin theta. Similarly, for this can be written as along that direction e2 sin theta, and this is e2 cos theta. So E1 sin theta and E2 sin theta 2 are equal. Similarly, for this written in electric field, D equals to epsilon E. So in terms of electric field, this is the expression, and this Y direction will be cos component. Put this cos component, you will be get this expression. Okay. So if you dividing 2 by 1, you will be get this solution very easily. Here you can discuss that is if this is air, if this is air and this is any dielectric, so you can see here that is the tan theta 2 by tan theta 1 equal to epsilon 2 by epsilon naught, and which is which is greater than 1 because epsilon naught is for respect to 1. So that's mean this theta 2 is greater than theta 1. But you know, in case of light, the actual happening for air, this is a large and this is a lower value, but in case of this dielectric, this is the opposite of the light ray. Okay, so a convex lens would be defocus the electric field. So in case of the convex lens, this is an important conclusion we obtain here, that is this is the opposite in case of this light case. So in case of light, you know that this lens converts the light, but in case of the dielectric medium, actually this will be diverts this electric field. So this is the electric field. If this is electric field, this will be diverge. Okay, because here you can see this phenomena will be opposite, that is, you know, in case of light the air and this is dielectric will be the like that, but in case here we can see this is the theta 2 is greater, that is theta 2 is like here. So that's why converge lens behaves like a diverge lens or concave lens actually, sorry, convex lens converted into converge lens. Concave, convex lens, convex, concave, convex, convex, just opposite to the light. Next one is the a point dipole p embedded at the center of a sphere of dielectric material. This is a sphere of dielectric material, there is a dipole, radius r and a material is epsilon r, dielectric constant. Find the electric potential inside and outside. So for that we need to know about the potential inside and outside. You know, this is the potential for inside and outside of a sphere, general solution. And the net dipole moment will be like that. This is the original dipole moment and this is the induced effect. So this is the total dipole moment and this is the surface charge density. So using this dipole moment and surface charge density will be get this solution, general solution. And using this boundary condition that uh, at r, that is r equals to r, that means r equals to r, this potential will be continuous and their derivative will be continuous. So take this potential is be continuous like that, and the derivative, the electric field, actually the second boundary condition, these two condition actually comes into these two form, that is the potential will be the same at this boundary and their derivative at this point will be continuous. So just taking these two and put this value of L equals to 0, 1 and greater than 1 like that, and then compare the coefficient, you will be get the solution. Okay, this process we already discussed in the previous few lectures for the solution of Vasudev Ghosh. So you can refer to this, just taking this value of L and compare the coefficient of polynomial Lagrange polynomial, and you will be get this solution. Okay, next question. Prove that the following uniqueness theorem, that is a volume contain a specific charge distribution, various species of linear dielectric material with the susceptibility of each other. If the potential specified boundary at S on this V, then the potential throughout this uniquely determined. That's mean we can take there is two potential V1 and V2 and their difference taken as V3, and these two are satisfied this equation, that is the Gauss theorem in dielectric. You can see here the V1 will be V2, that's mean we take these two different potential but finally we get the same potential. So this potential can be uniquely determined, that's the point of uniqueness theorem. Next question. A conducting sphere of potential V0 embedded in linear dielectric material of susceptibility chi. So this is the susceptibility chi, and this is the sphere of potential V0. So which occupied z less than 0, z greater than 0, and this is z less than 0. Claim the potential everywhere is exactly same as the in the absence of the dielectric. So if you there is no dielectric, the potential will be the same all over the sphere. Check this claim as follow. So write down the formula for the proposed potential Vr in terms of V0 diseases. So it determines the field, the polarization, bound charge, and so on. So the proposed potential can be written as this the for the spherical cell potential, that is V0 V by R. So electric field will be like that and polarization will be like that. Then the after getting the polarization, the bound charge can be find out. Okay. So the flat jet comes into like that, requires spherical. So the total charge will be the similar and the free charge will be like that. So that the total charge confusion will be induced produced by V of R by constructing this total charge as a bound charge, and this is free charge. You will be get these things, and that's it, and appear the uniqueness theorem of this. Since the everything is constant, the boundary. Next one is the taking this figure. So before one we take only this one, but here we will take this one another. Dialectic is changes like that. So figure this is the figure A does not, that is the flat surface P not perpendicular to N. This is not perpendicular to N because you can see here this is not perpendicular to N. Next question, according to this equation 4.5, force on this will be like that. So you can find out intake of the tennis sphere, you will be get this force. Next one is says a linear dielectric of polarizability P is like that. So what is the relation between P alpha and susceptibility? This is the relation. And next you think to take this electric field and prove this Clausius-Monster relation. Actually this relation is important for dielectric material and solid state physics. So this relation actually important is the polarizability is related as the dielectric constant with this epsilon naught and n. So the electric self electric field will be like that, and total electric field, from that you will be get the polarization susceptibility and the relation can be obtained. Okay, so this relation can be obtained from this. This is actually question of this relation check by using this table. So from this table you will be get this put is this value, you will get cross check this relation. And next one is Cauchy-Monster relation, tells you to calculate the susceptibility of non-polar substance atomic polarizability. So this is the average value and so on. Okay, so I want to finish this actually. I want to discuss the question asked in the Vasudev Ghosh, that is the magnetostatics. So next class will be come into the uh, that is the solution for this book, that is Vasudev Ghosh book, for the chapter magnetostatic chapter, right? So we'll meet in the next video as soon as possible, and you can join with my telegram channel to get the notification and the PDF copy. And this is my YouTube channel details, go to this channel, you will get others video like that. So we'll meet in the next video for the discussion of the magnetostatic for the book Vasudev Ghosh, Electricity and Magnetism. Take care, we'll meet in the next video as soon as possible. Thank you.